And welcome back, everyone, to another day of the boot camp. A lot of y'all enjoyed day number 8 yesterday. I've been getting a lot of messages, a lot of people saying this has helped them, and I even got a couple messages that some of you have already made money with those concepts. And that's amazing, guys. That's great. I'm happy that people are taking action. I'm happy that people are going through the other videos on this channel and making themselves some money. However, like I said from the beginning, this is not just about quick money or one winning trade or 2 winning weeks in a row. This is really about long-term success, instilling consistency, and instilling profitable habits that you'll not only learn here and benefit from here, but you can take with you in your trading career as a whole, right? The goal is not to have you dependent on me for a lifetime. The goal is not to have you dependent on these lessons for the rest of your life. The goal is for the bird to leave the fucking nest. So props to you guys that are taking action. Let's keep going through it. Let's instill these habits so that way you guys can just be on a straight path to profitability. But in today's lesson, it is going to be around a psychology topic, but even deeper than a psychology topic, this is an identity topic. So let's go ahead and dive into it. A lot of traders, they're still in the psychology stage, right? You've read all these trade psychology quotes. You maybe even picked up Trading in the Zone or The Best Loser Wins or How I Made $1 Million in the Commodities Market. Maybe you picked up one of these like classic trade psychology books, or maybe even Gerald Tendler's, The Mind of a Trader, or so, whatever the fuck that book is called. But long story short, you bought these books, you hear these quotes, maybe for a week or two, you implement them and you're repeating them to yourself and it's really working, but then all of a sudden that doesn't work anymore. The novelty of that trading psychology quote wears off. The novelty of that mental framework wears off, and the way you used to repeat that to yourself and be able to follow your rules doesn't quite work anymore. Well, that's a good thing and a bad thing. It's a good thing because you're moving on as a trader. You're maturing as a trader, and as you know, what takes you to one level is never going to take you to the next level. But secondly, it's kind of bad because now you have to really address what's under the surface, because under what you're telling yourself, under the rules you have that you're breaking, what's really happening is you're having a knee-jerk reaction because your identity is at risk. It's not your mind, it's not your thoughts or psychology, it's really your identity that is responding or reacting in a negative way. Think about it like this. Politics, right? What happens in politics? Well, the way they put these campaigns out there, the way they trigger people is by attacking their identity. Many have heard the term identity politics. Now, why does that work? Why exactly does that work? It's because human beings will do anything to defend their identity. The reason why people go out into war and die is because they'll die behind their country, their identity, their nation that they identify with. This is me, I'm this, and I'm willing to die to defend and protect it and uphold it. And it's the strongest force that drives all of us, guys. It's the strongest force that drives all of us, no matter who we are, no matter how much we say we have, I don't care about any of that stuff, I'm just a spiritual person. Every one of us falls into some type of way of clinging to an identity. And when that identity is threatened, we overreact. We act out of character. We get mad. We get frustrated. We say shit we don't want to do. We do things that we don't usually want to act into existence. So, with that understanding, it's probably becoming a lot more clear that you're not breaking your rules because you're not thinking properly. You're breaking your rules because there's something within your identity that's still attached to trading. The market does not reward confidence, ego, how smart you are, how much money you make. It doesn't reward that. It rewards discipline. Discipline without identity. So if you watch my short video that I posted yesterday on my IG, I talked about removing myself from my process. There was a time in my trading where I had to realize that me, my identity, my ego, what I want it to happen today. And if it didn't happen, oh, you're going to fucking pay, Mr. Market. Oh my gosh, because I didn't get my way today, my ego was hurt, my identity's hurt, and now I'm going to take it out on the market. That's what was really happening. So what did I do? I removed myself as much as possible from my process. Now, I won't get into the details of that. We'll go through that in another video. But the main thing being is it's not price that's fucking us over. It's the human element of our identity and wanting to cling to it. So if your self-worth is tied to your P&L, if in your life your self-worth is tied to money, if you're the type of person who leads with money, like you just give people money so they'll be your friend. We've all met like a super rich kid like that who's just like, he's lost the value of money because he's born rich, and he'll pay people to be his friend because his personality is shit. And we all know somebody like that in our lives. So never be that person. Don't attach your self-worth to money, because money is not you. You are not money. Money is neutral, guys. It's a piece of fucking paper. It's numbers on the screen that they use when they're doing fractional reserve baking, and they fucking basically just steal from all of us and put us all in debt. That's literally all money is, guys, at the end of the day. So if we're tying our identity to money, we've already lost. We've already lost the equation of trading, and to an extent, we've already lost the point of life too, because life is not money, and money is not what life is about, guys, contrary to popular belief. But back to the actual point, the moment your self-worth is tied to your P&L, tied to how much money you're making, tied to just like anything to do with money, you're going to act out of character when the outcome of that day is not money. So only thing you can do is be neutral, guys. And that goes into the next topic, which is not taking anything personal. This goes outside of the trading business into all business. Just entrepreneurship 101. Do not take anything personal. We all know, as people who work for ourselves or do your own thing, people aren't going to approve of it 99% of the time, especially if you haven't made it yet, especially if you're not doing it full time yet. People literally take you for a fucking joke, bro. I remember for the majority of my life, people just taking me for an absolute fucking joke, bro, when I would talk about my dreams, when I talk about what I wanted to do, what my plan was, what my vision was, what I was learning, what I was doing to take action. Like, I wasn't even just talking shit either. I was showing people proof of what I was doing, and they still wanted to treat me like a clown. You know what I mean? And that's cool, but if you let those people get to you, you're just going to give up. If you make it a point to only be on this journey to prove it to those people, then they've already won and you've already lost. So in business and life and trading, we cannot take anything personal. Nobody's opinion. We can't take a loss personal. You know what I mean? And you can't take any roadblocks, obstacles, or setbacks as, oh, this is only happening to me because the world hates me. No, it's happening to you because you decided to play a game that is very difficult. And in this difficult game, it's going to knock your ass down a few times. And you're going to have to get up a few times and keep going if you want to succeed. And it happens to everybody. You are not alone in that equation. You are not the only one who blew your account today. You are not the only one who's in $30,000+ of credit card debt. You are not the only one who has to sleep on a park bench or in a garage or in a car tonight. You are not the only one who is down to your last 1 cent. There are plenty of people right this second, right now, in this world, all across the world, who are experiencing that same thing. You know what the difference is going to be between the people who make it and the people who don't? Who quits and who keeps going. So decide, guys. The 1% is not just some destination you make it to once you make a bunch of money. The 1% is how many 1% decisions did you make today? If you were a part of that group who lost everything, is down and out, and you decide to keep going, guess what? It doesn't matter how much fucking money's in your bank account. It doesn't matter if there's negative money. You're part of the 1% because of your decisions today. And when I was in your position, I was able to sleep in peace, knowing that I made the decisions that align with my future self. Yeah, my situation might be shit right now. It might look nothing like it's going to look at the end of the tunnel. And the end of the tunnel might not come for years and years and years. But guess what? Today I made 1% decisions. Today I'm a part of the 1%. and I could go to sleep completely content with myself, irregardless of what anybody thinks. So now that we've established that, guys, if you're about to give up, just know that every single day somebody in your industry fucking quits. And why? It's because they take it personal, they play the victim card, and they think it's only happening to them. They think they're alone, but you're not, guys. It is a selection process, an elimination process, and the rewards are reserved to the people who stay in the game the longest and don't quit. Now, with that being said, let's take it to a more granular level. In essence, when you overreact in the market, when your identity is threatened in the market, why do you make mistakes? Well, it's because you're taking the market personally. You're taking the market personal. So, let me make an illustration for you guys real quick. Have you ever seen Conor McGregor or Floyd Mayweather or Jake Paul hype up a fight? They play mind games, guys. They toy around with their opponent. They jab at their identity. They jab at their fucking ego. They see if they can get them to crack. Because once they crack mentally, once they crack emotionally, once they've exposed a vulnerability in their identity and they start to take the thing personal, it doesn't matter what the fuck they've been training for, guys. It's a mental thing in that ring. So if you win in the mind, you win in the fucking ring. And it's the same with trading. The key is to never let your opponent get in your head. You as a trader have to have that same confidence and have to have that same centeredness within yourself. That anything the market does, if the market stops you out 5 trades in a row in the same day and you can't hit the broadside of a fucking barn, if price goes up to $2,000 in floating profit, it edges your TP, misses it by 1 tick, and then goes to stop you out. If you hit a big trade or took a big loss and your trade copier malfunctions, guys, it's very easy to take it personal in those situations. It's very easy to be like, I'm about to crash out because they fucked me over. You know what I mean? They knew I wanted to get in this today, and they just had to fucking do that to me. Why me? If you start entering that mentality, you're starting to take the market personal. If you're getting frustrated at anything the market does, you're trying to take it personal. If you just can't wait till tomorrow, if you feel the need to stay glued to the charts to prove something, guess what? Your opponent has gotten in your head, and you're about to get fucked up. You cannot ever break mentally. You cannot take anything personal. I don't care if you take the biggest trade in the world and your Wi-Fi shuts off and some random dude comes into your room and fucking throws you against the wall and takes a loss on your computer. The only correct response to that, aside from kicking that dude's ass, is to follow your trading plan. The only correct response ever is to follow your trading plan. I don't care how against you the market feels like it is. I don't care how fucked up your day was, and then this just adds another 10 layers of fucked upness to your day. Guys, I don't care. Do not start to say, the market hates me. The market has it out to get me. They know where my stops are. They're hunting me. They're purposely trying to fuck me over. I'll show the market. Take this shit. And then you just tilt, and then you trade, and you trade again, and you trade again, and pretty soon your account's gone because you're trying to fight the market, and you let the market get in your head. So step number 1, don't let the market get in your head. Step number 2 is never fight the market, guys. In reality, the market has no idea who you are. It can't see those orders. It can't even see big orders. You know what I mean? There's so much money in the market. They do not know where your stop is. So fighting it, getting pissed off, it's not going to solve anything. It's only going to make it worse, guys. It's only going to make it worse, and it's only going to make it harder to learn from those losses because you're not going to want to look back on it. You're going to be pissed off, and then you're not going to get the lesson out of the loss. It's only a loss if you don't extract the lesson out of it. Like they said in Think and Grow Rich, every disadvantage comes with it a seed, even if it's just a seed, of equal and opposite advantage. And in that, it is the insights that come from taking a loss. You have to learn from them. But when you fight the market, when you take it personal, it's hard to learn from them because you just want to avoid it, sweep it under the rug. You just want to say fuck it and run up the credit card again and buy more evals to make yourself feel better. And then you go back in the market and make the same mistake. So don't fight the market. The market is an invincible opponent. You know, like in Street Fighter where you both have a health meter on each side and you get to attack each other and shit, and then one person's health meter goes down if one gets hit and vice versa. Well, guess what, guys? In the market, your health meter is going to go down, your money meter is going to go down, and the market has infinite money. It has infinite health. It's an invincible opponent. Would you fight somebody on the street, guys, if you knew they were invincible? If you knew that every time you hit them, even if you freaking like stab them or something, would you fight that person if you knew that that person was invincible? No, that'd be the most terrible idea ever. I would personally run as far as possible if I ever met someone who was actually invincible. So why do we do it with the market? Why do we fight an invincible opponent, guys? It's beyond stupid, right? But easier said than done. But this is the first step. It's knowing what's actually happening. And what's actually happening is at a core level. It's not psychology. It's not fucking thoughts and all this shit that they say in these books. It's that your identity feels threatened, you're taking it personal, and you're trying to fight an opponent that is invincible, guys. So as soon as we make these adjustments and we start to look at it deeper, as soon as we stop attaching our self-worth to money and our self-worth to trading success and all this stuff, is the sooner we actually start to learn properly and focus on the right shit. A lot of beginner traders are just focused on all the wrong shit. And I was focused on all the wrong shit when I started. And I'm not ashamed to admit it because it's the journey of growth, guys. It's the learning curve. And it's also coming into maturity as well for those of you who are a little bit younger. When I started all of this shit, I was very young. So I was trying to mature in business and in life at the same time. So don't be too hard on yourselves, guys. It is not about who can just like become a millionaire overnight with this shit. Like, take it a level down. Like, just bring it down to reality real quick. If you're able to make half as much as you make at your job, if you're able to make $1,000 a month, if you're able to buy all your food for the month off of the markets, is anybody going to complain about that, guys? Would anybody complain about paying for like your whole entire groceries for the whole entire month off of trading? Even if you're still at your job, you get free groceries from the market. I would take free groceries from the market today. So it's like, guys, we can't be too far out here in freaking la la land about this stuff. We have to focus on the here and now. And if we focus on the here and now, there's no such thing as the future. When you look up, you're going to be at that place that you dream of. And you're probably going to be even fucking further. But not if you keep focusing on other people, on your self-worth being tied to money, and on your self-worth being tied to the fact that you want to go out there and be like, oh, look, guys, I'm a 7-figure trader, or look at this screenshot, or look at this and this. Like, guys, it looks cool, but unless you can actually confidently sustain it, it really doesn't matter. So the last thing, guys, the last thing that I'll leave you with is be ambitious with the learning process of this, but be patient with the outcome. And do not tie your identity to the outcome of this. So in other words, I'm not saying be patient, like do one lesson a week and take it as slow as possible. But I am saying be in a rush to learn. Like, dedicate yourself to learning at a great pace, at a great volume. But be patient with it actually getting to the point that you want it to get to, where you're freaking driving around in foreigns and flexing and shit. Like, guys, don't even think about that shit. It's honestly just a distraction at this stage. It will come, but it is a fucking distraction at this stage. So, guys, chill. Just be happy with where you're at. I know it sounds cliche. I know it sounds fucking stupid, but don't tie your identity to this too much. Focus on making your life right now great too. You can always live no matter what situation you're at, guys. Even when I was living in my homie's garage, Like, even when I had $0, I always found the fucking way to have a good time that day, guys. It didn't matter what it was. It didn't matter if I had to walk to a park, start chatting with some random people, and pretty soon we're playing a game of basketball. It didn't matter if I had to freaking walk to a homie's house and, we just played video games for 10 minutes or something before he had to go to work, or link up with a girl or something and chill, or even just get a nice workout in, or come up with a business idea. I always found a way, no matter how low I was, to enjoy myself. And I think that's very important, that you don't chase all these shiny objects. Find a way to enjoy yourself in the now, work towards the future, and it's going to come organically and naturally the way you want it to. We don't wake up and just be like, yo guys, I'm a Target employee. Or you wake up and go like, oh yeah, I'm a Walmart employee, and if I don't do good at Walmart today, then you know what? I'm just going to be super pissed off, and I'm going to waste a bunch of money, and I'm going to go into my job and sabotage the whole thing. You guys don't do that, right? So why do you do it in trading? You're like, oh my gosh, I'm a trader, so I have to wake up today and take a trade and make money, or I'm not a trader, so I might as well crash out. Like, that's how I used to think. That's legitimately how I used to think, guys. Because my whole identity, my whole freaking existence was tied to this. I put every dollar I had on the line. Like, it was beyond the money at that point. Like, this was a part of my fucking soul, guys. And many of you have reached that point too. But I'm telling you, stop making this shit so important. The second I stopped making this shit so important was the second I started making breakthroughs. And the second I actually developed a hunger to learn and understand it properly, instead of just trying to make quick money. So I'm not necessarily trying to give anybody life advice, guys. Obviously, do whatever the fuck you want. What do I know? But at the end of the day, this is what worked for me. I've been talking with a lot of you, so I feel like this can really relate to what a lot of you guys are going through right now. So apologies if this was a little bit long-winded, but I just really wanted to drive this point home. Comment down below if you relate to this, if this gave you some epiphanies or some insights, or just comment down below, day 9 complete. And I am giving away $100 to a random commenter this week, so just make sure y'all are participating this week and you do not fall off. I did a poll on IG. I think 63% of you stuck with it all the way to this day, and there was good like 37% of you guys who said that you fell off. So if you fell off, it's not too late to catch up now. Go ahead, watch a couple lessons per day, get back caught up, and then get back in sync with this program. Those of you who stuck with it, I salute you for your consistency and your dedication. It's going to pay dividends, guys, if you stick with this process. Have a blessed night, everyone. We'll see you guys in tomorrow's lesson. Take care.